Hi everyone, my name is Angela Vo.
Hi, my name is Carson, and we are with
The Bonita Canyon. Yay! We'd like to share an experience with you today, and it's one that's a little personal. It's Carson and I, we actually tested positive for COVID. We tested positive the second week of October, and so we would like to share our experience surrounding that.
It was definitely a very, very frightening experience. Definitely, we would not want anyone to go through it. Luckily, we were able to overcome it. So we're going to share our little story of where we got it and how we overcame it, along with the fact that we have 3 other kids in the house to worry about.
All right, so in October, we decided to take a couples trip to go to Cancun, and this is without our children. It was a total of 4 couples going to Cancun, and one of the couples had COVID, and unfortunately we all got it during that trip, and we didn't know about it until we came back home when we started feeling the symptoms. So we came back home, immediately got tested just to be cautious and make sure that we're taking all steps to be, to just ensure that, if we do have it, that we're going to take the necessary measures. And if we don't, then okay, great. We took the test, and sure enough, I tested positive, and Carson did not test positive. He actually came out negative.
We actually did the rapid test, and we planned it when we were over in Mexico, knowing that we were going to come home Sunday night. And so we had to tell our parents that even though they really wanted to see us, who they were watching our kids, to, leave the house. Our kids wanted to hug us. We're like, you know what, let's just be safe. We want to get ourselves tested. So when we planned a test in Mexico for the following Monday, Angela had the test Monday morning, and mine was scheduled for Monday night. And, at first, we were both pretty, had a lot of anxiety. Angela felt some symptoms, I didn't. And then when we did the test, she tested positive. So we immediately self-quarantined her in the master bedroom. And then mine wasn't until that evening. And both she and I, we were very, very concerned because, of course, at this time we're wearing masks around the house, being really far away from the kids and wiping down everything and just really keeping our distance, right? And so my test was that Monday night. So Angie and I, during that 15-minute wait, we were both, chanting the new Daimoku, just making sure that hopefully, I would test negative. And surely enough, I did. So that was a big relief because now at least one of us can take care of the kids. And one thing about the COVID experience was that, not just feeling some of the symptoms and hearing all these horror stories around it, you constantly, when you're going through the process, to really take a lot of tests. And that's the process or part that really is very, very time consuming. A lot of anxiety, a lot of waiting. So, we planned another test for myself just to be safe, just to make sure. And then it was set for, and keep in mind, it's very hard to get onto the schedule list. So to always plan ahead of time too. So I did another rapid test for that Thursday night. So this is about 3 days later. And through this whole period, I felt some symptoms of COVID as well, but, I was like, okay, it can't be me, right? Because I tested negative. And this whole time I stayed in the guest bedroom, and then Angie stayed in the master. So we want to stay away from the kids still, right? And just going through the nights and sleeping through during that, Tuesday, Wednesday, I felt just enduring crazy pain on my back. And I'm like, wow, is it the mattress that our guests have been sleeping on? Because I'm like, no way, because I tested, negative. It can't be, right? So it has to be the mattress that's really, really bad. So I was like, I couldn't sleep. Like for 2 nights, I couldn't sleep, right? So I just blamed it on the mattress. But then, came Thursday, I also tested positive. So by that time, we were, really concerned. We had our parents drop us food for us so that, the kids can have food. And then, just really keep ourselves really, really isolated. And then and then schedule more tests. So they went to schedule tests for the kids, schedule tests for us, and just going through that whole process is something that, we would never want anyone to go through it.
Mm-hmm. And it was just that isolation and just feeling very much so alone. Even though we did have the assistance from our parents, who we realized, just during this time period, is that the parents were there for us and our children, just to make sure that we were being well taken care of. And they provided us meals, and we did lots of steaming. And during this process, we did lots of chanting as well. And we realized, just having that isolation and that time alone, just to be able to have a clear mind and to be able to think about everything, because you have so much time. So it was just a very awakening experience. And actually, we are very blessed to have had that experience. It was just one where it's almost like slowing us down in a different way if it wasn't slowed down enough with quarantine and lockdowns and things like that. But again, it's just making us reset and to realize that life is very valuable, and then that our children are most important. And thankfully, we did contract it when we were in Cancun as opposed to it being here, because at that time the children would have been exposed. But us kind of having an idea that we may have it and just taking the proactive measures to be away at the onset of it, I think that was critical. And so another thing that we also applied is we started thinking about why we're able to overcome the COVID so quickly and our healing process. And we were comparing ourselves to the other couples who attended the vacation in Cancun with us. Their recovery process was just not the same. And so Carson and I, we felt the symptoms a total of about 5 days.
Yeah.
Probably. It just felt like a severe flu. Flu, fever, body aches, things like that. But we were able to overcome it pretty quickly. We still tested positive, but our symptoms were no longer, after 5 days, completely gone. And so we started thinking about what did we do health-wise to get us to that place. And we started thinking of it in more of a spiritual standpoint, as, what we're doing to our bodies, what we're putting inside of our bodies, eating healthy, eating clean, working out, taking care. It doesn't happen overnight. If we were to wish for quick recovery, that would not have happened if we did not take the appropriate measures in our lifestyle to make sure that we do it prior to that, to build up that type of strong immune system and stronger health. And
so, we made a pact with ourselves, right? Each other, saying that if we get out of it, just the feeling of just being fatigued, down, tired during that whole COVID experience. I'm diabetic as well. So, the risk is extremely high with pre-existing conditions. So just being able to overcome it or not was very, very fearful and frightening. And so we made a pact with each other that we get out of it for the next month of November, we're going to do 100 miles, right, of running. And so we've been running almost every day, 6 to 7 miles. And what's today's date? Today's the 20th, and we're at 77 miles. Mm-hmm. So the month is not over yet. And so there's still another 23 more miles, but we're very confident that we will get it done since we're, probably more than 70% done here.
Yeah.
All right.
So in addition to doing the extra 100 miles, we also are making a stronger effort to chant and do Daimoku a lot longer as well. So during this process, we were thinking, when I call it a process, it felt like a process going through COVID, and just every day was just a different scenario. Every day had different symptoms. And so we're just going through it, and there's not enough research or a lot of information on what we're going through, and everyone's different. So that was a unique part of it. So we're also thinking along the lines of, okay, our health is what was able to help us overcome this. And so we can also apply that to our Buddhist practice. It's something that we need to nurture within ourselves, to continuously chant, to continuously be part and active within our district. It's something that you can't just expect to have the same outcomes if you're not 100%, or if you're only putting in a small percentage of yourself, you're not going to get the same amount of benefits. So that's something that we were thinking about when we were, just applying all that, when we're coming to that awakening within ourselves on how our health has impacted the result of us overcoming COVID so quickly, is also how our Buddhist practice needs to be strong and stern, so that way we can always be absolute. And when we come through, when we encounter struggles, that we would be able to overcome those struggles as well in our daily lives, no matter what that struggle may be.
Very well put there, Angela. I gotta say, I mean, it's spiritually, physically, mentally, all of that come together. And, one of our leaders would say, you gotta believe it for it to come true. And after being through the darkness of sickness, we really felt that, spiritually and, having the SGI practice has been really, really powerful in helping us regain our health.
All right, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed our experience.
And we appreciate the time and opportunity to share it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.